schedule. There we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Miami View Women. I'm Carolina Castillo, and I'm so happy to be here with my co-host Irela Bagué.
Hi.
And our guest, a tremendous guest, which you're all going to get to know, Nicole. Welcome.
Thank you so much. How are both of you doing?
You know, I feel quite festive today. I have my little whimsical tree over here just to give it a little bit of color.
I love it.
I have my little ho, ho, ho sign. We're all inching and ready for the holidays.
Yes.
So happy Hanukkah to our viewers.
Happy Hanukkah Festival of Lights, everyone.
Yes, happy Hanukkah. So excited.
So exciting. How are you feeling over there, Nicole? I see you're festive. You're pretty festive over there.
Yes, I'm doing well. I have my little Spider-Man and Superman and the little
stockings,
right? Stockings. And I also have my little Santa. Representing my dad, his little bunny slippers.
I love
it.
He's so cute. So for those who don't know Nicole Crooks, I want to talk a little bit about you, and then we'll go into what you're doing in the community. So Nicole Crooks is the Overtown Community Engagement Coordinator with Catalyst Miami. She's a co-founder of the Black Butterfly Collective. She's a recipient of the 2020 GirlTrek National Voice of Change Award. And Nicole is the proud mother of 3 kids. How do you do it all?
Oh my gosh. Just with love and passion. I think my children have always been my motivator. And so I just want to always be able to leave a better world for them and the legacy that will come after them. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, you at Catalyst Miami, you all do so much. You're probably the premier social service organization in Miami. I don't know how you all do it. There are a lot of women in the mix. Your founder is our new first female.
Levine Cava. We're all connected with Daniela here.
Exactly. Talk to us about, first, before we get into GirlTrek, because I think that's an amazing thing that you're doing. But talk to us about some of the things, because we obviously dealing all with a pandemic in our own way. But Catalyst is out there in the front lines, helping so many families and so many small businesses. So can you give us a little snapshot of what you guys have been up to?
Let me tell you something. I feel so honored and so blessed to be able to be a part of Catalyst Miami. The people that I work with, all of my coworkers and colleagues and our founder and our leadership just make me proud to be able to say that I'm a Catalyst employee. We love the community from a place that is so authentic. A lot of the things that we have done during COVID and even showing up in the time of Black Lives Matter, in terms of like everything that's been going on over the past, it seems like more than 9 months. Like it's a lot. It feels a lot longer. But just in terms of, we have shown up consistently for our community. We've had spaces to help give small businesses assistance in applying for loans, in terms of giving grants that are not necessarily, they don't need to be repaid, but just supporting in those areas, being able to help when people were in the midst of trying to apply for unemployment benefits and finding so much. Oh gosh, it was crazy. Like that whole situation was just crazy. In terms of really advocating really hard for the rent moratorium, with FPL, in terms of the moratorium, with all of that, we have really been at the helm of so many pieces of that, and just consistently showing up, loving on, and offering resources and support and guidance through this time. So Catalyst is amazing. CatalystMiami.org. Please visit our website. We have so many programs, so many projects. We have people who are so passionate about what they do. We don't just walk Like we walk the talk, just
Absolutely.
talk about it.
Does it
That's for sure.
look, I see Lori Scope. She's live with us. Yay! Lori from Roots, Miami. Welcome, Lori.
So good to see you. We have to connect.
I love how we all are interconnected in some way, somehow, whether it's Catalyst or our new mayor, Danielle Levine Cava, or Lori from Roots List. It's just an incredible community. And with Catalyst, do you focus in all Miami-Dade, or is there more like a community that you focus on?
So we do. And before I go on, I want to give Lori a shout out, and she has me because my mind is like everywhere, y'all. Listen, I call it COVID brain, right? So I know Lori because she participates in a lot of our leadership and advocacy classes. And so she's a graduate of HEAL Miami, which is a house leadership cohort, which talks about all things housing in Miami, everything that you can imagine. We also have CLEAR, which focuses on climate. So thank you, Lori, for showing up and getting my brain together. Okay, so now I'm back. Oh my goodness. And so we serve all of Miami-Dade County. And we also have hub areas, right? And so the hubs that we're currently working with, and yet we're expanding, because one of the things that we know, especially as we look at housing and the way that people are getting displaced out of every area. And so there's a focus towards the entire Miami-Dade County. Right now we have Overtown, which is one of the hubs. Go Overtown. That's where I am. We have Miami Gardens, we have Hialeah, and we have South Dade. And then we have the Northwest Corridor. So those are the places that we currently are.
Well, I mean, I think it's incredible work, and like you were mentioning, there's still so many different facets that you all engage in. Like your climate work is so critical, because as we all know, and this is like more my world as well. So as we all know, climate, disproportionately affects, Black and Brown communities and the lower income communities, and vulnerable communities to sea level rise and flooding especially during king tides and such that we're already experiencing. So your work and just educating and creating leaders that can go out there and like voice what their needs are, the real people that are coming to commission meetings and really advocating for themselves. It's so important now more than ever.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of times, number one, because I can say just from my personal experience, when it came to climate change, I didn't really see how it connected to me as a Black woman, as a single Black mother, especially, right? Like, because all of the discussions that I heard, first of all, I didn't see a lot of reflections of me when people were talking about climate change. So I'm like, okay, that's not really our issue. I'm trying to make sure that my children are able to come home like George Floyd didn't, right? Like I'm trying to make sure all of those things. I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to keep a roof over their heads. Like I'm worried about those things. And so the way that it's presented is that overwhelmingly is that it's about like sea turtles and it's about like fracking. And what is fracking? I thought that was a curse word, first of all. What is that? And how does that have anything to do with us? And so like those are where the discussions are. But when we learn that climate change is all about like being able to afford where we live, it has everything to do with like really and truly like why here in Overtown and a lot of historically Black communities in Miami and other places, we're not alone, right? Why rich people are now wanting to move into our communities, right? Like, what is that about? I never put the pieces together that had everything to do with climate change. I didn't know that one of the largest reasons that people start to get the predatory payday loans is because they need to be able to pay their electric bills that are sky high because the energy efficiency is crazy, right? And then when you talk about being able to really show up to meetings and commission meetings and in places where decisions are being made about like literally our lives, a lot of times we're not there because we're worried about survival. We're distracted by making sure like by making sure that we're working 3 jobs to pay $1,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment for our family of 4. Like those are realities of climate change that we don't look at, and in terms of advocacy. But if you are able to support people, right, and help them to build the confidence in the powerhouses that they are, and the intricate, like, and just the intrinsic, like, authority and brilliance and creativity that exists within them. Like we talk about resilience. The communities that you're talking about, we are the embodiment of resilience because we've had to be. And so when you create the situation where you're like, no, you belong here, and your voice really does matter. Because that's another thing that happens a lot in my community and other communities like mine. We don't feel heard. We don't know what's going on. Things are done behind closed doors, and then decisions are made for us and we had no idea. And by the time we realize it, it's too late.
Yes. And, you know, I was working with Florida for All with women's constituency, and there's so many things right now that you are hitting on the nose. We were responsible to target Black and brown women between the ages of 18 to 34. And they kept saying, why aren't these women engaged? Why aren't they voting? You know, this is their livelihood. And, you know, you just hit it on the nose. We're too busy surviving, right? You're too busy surviving. You have bills to pay. You're working 3 jobs. The last
care of everything.
Yeah, the last thing you're doing is paying attention to who's running against who and who should I vote for versus right now you're just trying to survive. So the fact that you're kind of like that bridge and educating and engaging is phenomenal, because it not only uplifts them personally, but it also educates them as to this does affect you 150%. And then you take it up a notch and you say, and these are the candidates that care about climate and care about your community and care about, you know, bringing more resources and uplifting our Black and brown community. So you're that bridge, and I'm just honored to be here with you, girl, right now. This is awesome. I'm really happy.
I'm really happy too. And I cannot let it go without saying that we here in Overtown, also in Miami Gardens and also in South Dade, but we have the most amazing group of what we call community champions. So I just got to send a shout out to the Overtown community champions. I love you guys. I adore you guys. You inspire me. But when you talk about people standing up and loving on their community and standing up for what they believe in and really like taking ownership and showing up, that is what the community champions do over and over and over again. So,
and it's just so needed. I mean, we need champions in every community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a great model. And you know what I love that Catalyst does too? I mean, you know, you make it easy for folks to go out and advocate for themselves. You provide childcare oftentimes so that, you know, we don't have to worry about, you know, how do we take care of our kids if we have to go to commission meeting? It's at 5 o'clock or whatever. Now Zoom makes things a little easier, but before that, you know, it was really difficult to go to a meeting and sit there all day sometimes.
So true.
Right. So you know, what a great service and what great work you do across the board. And let's talk about GirlTrek.
GirlTrek.
I love it, and I think there should be a GirlTrek in every neighborhood.
Yes, and that is what the goal is, and I'm so excited to say that we hit 1 million women walking earlier this month, and so like we celebrated like no other. Like, you know how in the beginning of COVID, D Nice was doing like the DJing. I don't know if you know it. Like,
yeah.
Instagram parties. We had D Nice to DJ for us as we celebrated hitting 1 million women. India Ari came and sang to us. Like, it's like a really big deal. But I'm so excited about GirlTrek. GirlTrek is the largest public health movement in the country for Black women. And the goal is to get us walking 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, to take back our health, to take back our lives, to take back our and so we walk out of the front door, right? So we don't have to worry about paying all the astronomical fees, anything. And we just show up for ourselves first and foremost. We stress self-care because one of the things that we know is that we are dying at exponential levels from things that we can easily prevent, right? Like it can be prevented. One of the things that I learned early on, and we've spoken about it a lot more, like in the news, like we've highlighted it more, but like loneliness is more deadly than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
Wow.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right. And so in order to combat that, one of the things that we did before COVID was that every Saturday we got together for Superhero Saturday, actually. I make
Hero.
That's right.
I'm gonna use that.
That's right. I make the HER capital, and we walk together and we see the city, we walk around, we see our neighborhood. And when we're walking in our community, we're able to love on our babies. We're able to see what the walkability is like. You talk about climate change, like how about that? Right? Let's talk about that. Like you see how like you just see everything. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
You see everything.
Well,
and
you're doing everything because and we've all heard the term mindfulness.
That's right.
You're paying attention. You're actually, because we're so screen phobic these days, right? Getting out into nature is the best possible thing we can do, especially during a pandemic. Of course, wearing your mask.
Yes.
But go back to that because, talk to me about some of the treks you've been on that have been very impactful for you.
Okay, well, let me first talk about the one that I'm most excited about. Yes, because I'm all things Overtown. So we have currently the historic Overtown Legacy Trek, right? And it's a self-guided trek. And you can go on goingovertown.org, scroll down to activate Overtown, right? And then you'll see two maps. There's a 25-minute walkable map, and then there's a 45-minute walkable map, right? And then you go to those locations and there's like a sticker, right? And I just have to throw a plug. My son designed them. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome. But then you just go to the site and then you take your phone with the camera to the QR code and you just hover your camera over it. And then you learn everything about that location, either past or present. And then you move on to the next. And so you start to fall in love with Overtown. That's our goal. I want y'all to be as in love with Overtown as I am.
So
right?
how do I join your track? Like if we want to go in and join you,
girl. Okay, so one of the things that we have is the Black History Bootcamp, and it's on Spotify. And so during the pandemic, one of the things that happened very frequently is that we had 3. I think the first one was in February. And so it was like a 21-day trek. And so you can go onto Spotify and download it. Our website is GirlTrek.org, okay. Right. So
I'm writing this down. Okay.
We got it. We got it in the ticker.
Okay. And like you can follow me also like on Instagram. I am Nicole Crooks. It wasn't really original. But I post when we're going to walk. And so you can participate in one of our virtual walks. We walk tomorrow, y'all. So you can be a part of our virtual walk.
I love that. What time tomorw?
8 o'clock.
8?
8 a.m.
Okay. 8 a.m.
Yes.
Early risers.
Yes. I love it. And so, yes. And so our thing is that just like, listen, there's nobody that's going to come and save us. We have to save ourselves. And so we're saving ourselves. And like Harriet Tubman is the person that we honor. Well, we honor so many of the visionaries that came before us. But when we talk about Harriet saved herself first. And then she came back for everyone else. And as women in particular, there's so many times that we're giving from an empty cup. Right. And we cannot sustain that. We cannot sustain that. We have to put on our own oxygen masks first by taking care of ourselves, loving on ourselves, knowing that we're enough, knowing that we're capable, supporting one another, because that whole myth of the Mean Girls Club, that is a myth.
You are so right.
right? Let's kick it to the curb and know that by design, the way that we are created is to nurture. And that means each other. It means ourselves, each other, and then our families and communities.
Oh my God. Right? Speak the truth with Nicole Crooks. Everybody.
I'm loving this.
Right? What a great way to end the week, Carolina.
I love it.
I love it. I'm so inspired right now because the more love we give to ourselves, the more love we have to give to our children, to our family, to our partners, to our community, and the more we can give back. So I'm just loving this. So thank you.
Well, and it's just so perfect for our show, Miami View Women, because this is the mission, and our vision is to create a space where we can have these conversations with each other and empower us and help lift ourselves up, give a spotlight to the amazing work that women in Miami are doing, because nobody really talks enough about it. And we don't make, like you were saying, we don't make enough time for ourselves to even promote ourselves, right?
So true.
So this is why
we're stronger together. So that's why that GirlTrek is so powerful. And the more of us that are there enjoying it, it's just like a collective nurturing in a way, and nurturing our communities, like a domino effect.
It is. And so I also have to bring up, because this is our baby. My sister friend, Nicole Martin Bynum, and I, through an incubator with Radical Partners, launched our program this year in February for Black History Month. But it's an ongoing program. It's called the Black Butterfly Collective. And it's all about that. So it is all about centering and focusing on the well-being of Black women as it relates to environmental justice, right? And so, like, it's magical. One of the things that has always been is that we've always felt as though our life is the cycle. Number one, the life cycle of a butterfly, right? But then also the butterfly effect, like you were talking about, and how the reality is that if we equip and educate and support a woman, she changes her entire community, right? And so that is the premise of the Black Butterfly Collective. And so I'm so honored. And I have to send a shout out to all of those women who are a part of it. I have to send a shout out, especially to my sister, my friend, Nicole Martin Bynum. She's the other half of me. We're the two Nicoles. And so, yeah, that's what we believe in.
That's fantastic. And Radical Partners, another group that's doing amazing things all over the community as well. We're going to have them on this show for sure, upcoming, and talking to them. Yeah. I'm very optimistic, even though it's a very challenging time. I see opportunities all over the place. The fact that we're able to spend a little more time, even if it's virtual, I think it's kind of centering us all to really plan and slow down and think more and plan more, and then implement.
Also reinvent ourselves, right? Correct. Out of this pandemic, we have had entrepreneurship, right? Ideas and look, and nonprofits, and it's kind of like a reinvention of prioritizing education and really acknowledging what's the most important thing in our lives, and then going from there and uplifting our communities. So this is a really special space with you, Nicole Crooks and Irela, because that's what we're here to do, like Irela was saying, right?
Yes.
Is sharing.
So grateful for y'all. I'm so grateful
for each other. This is a no mean girl zone.
That's right. That's right.
Not here.
Beautiful.
Not here. So Nicole, talk to me a little bit about, because we like to share information here. Mm-hmm. If there are women out there, families out there that need help, because there's a lot of people that really need help, how do they get in touch with you all at Catalyst Miami? And all right. What kind of services are you providing right now?
Okay, so girl, now it's pop quiz time. Listen. So first and foremost, please visit our website. Our website is absolutely amazing. Carol is like a rock star, and she has helped to redesign our website. And so it is very user-friendly. So please visit our website at www.catalystmiami.org. And we have a list of services up there. We have financial coaching. We are helping with taxes. Now is the perfect time for that, to be able to do that in terms of lending circles in order to like really build your credit. I participated in one because I don't like to share information about something that I don't have experience with. It's phenomenal. So ask about the lending circles. In terms of anything that you have, we have a COVID hotline that you can reach out to, and we can refer you. Anything that we don't have in-house, we can refer you to. And not only refer you, we believe in like holding your hand through the process. And we believe in partnerships. So we have some of the most amazing partners in the entire world. Okay. Yeah, Miami is awesome. But yes, please reach out via our email or via our website, catalystmiami.org. Feel free to email me. I am off on vacation now, taking some time for that self-care and just loving on my kids.
Good for you.
Here, yes. But my email address is NicoleC@catalystmiami.org. I love to love on people. Like my default setting and my core values are faith and love. And I try to show up as that. I'm human, so sometimes, ciao. But at the core of who I am, that's what it is. So allow me to love on you in the new year. Reach out.
That's great. Do you all also need volunteers? Because there's also people out there that want to help.
Always. Go to our website and sign up and stay connected, because we have so many programs, so many projects, so many spaces. Because the reality is that we really and truly, like in the beginning, I felt like it was kind of cliche, but like the reality is we're all in this together. And like in terms of working together to create the world that we want is so significant. Last June, I don't know how much time we have, but last June, I went to an ancestral remembrance at Virginia Key Beach. And it was so powerful on so many different levels, right? So many different levels. And it even tied to like Key West. It was phenomenal. But one of the things that was said there, that was mentioned there, that I have held with me ever since, is that anything that we do in this moment, like right here, right now, right? To impact like ourselves, our little piece of the world, just our little piece of the world in terms of spreading love, in terms of just making it better, like picking up after ourselves, going to the beach, like that kind of thing. Not only are we impacting our space right here, but we're healing 7 generations that came before us and 7 generations yet to come. When I tell you that was so powerful for me, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And looking at my daughter, and recognizing that she is the 7th generation from my great, great, great grandmother, who was an enslaved woman, who was a midwife, right? Who was a midwife. And I just think about everything that she's been through, and she's able to start that process, and I can make it easier. So.
Oh, how profound. What a great way to wrap up the show with Nicole Crooks. You are an inspiration. We are so fortunate to have you here. And Carolina, if you want to say a couple words.
I'm zipped out. I came in here, pretty hyper, and it's the end of the work week, right? So and you've just lowered me down. You've just centered me so well. I'm just I'm so happy you were here with us today.
I'm so happy that you all have this space. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And truly, the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
Love your energy. Yes.
Let's keep it up, girls. Let's keep it up. And let's go GirlTrekking.
GirlTrek.org.
All right, ladies. Well, I want to give a shout out to our wonderful partners, Miami Community Newspapers. They're such a great resource in our community. They are the hyper local news, and we are fortunate to them. that they share our show and their network and give us the space to have these conversations.
Amen.
And I want to give a shout out to Miriam, our producer extraordinaire. She does all these stickers, and she's doing amazing, and she's behind the scenes. So thank you, Miriam.
We love you. Women Helping Women. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Miami View Women. Yeah. Have a fabulous weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Joshua, Jamil, and Jazzy. See you.